Here are 14 habits that may just end up transforming your life because they have been massively transformational in my life over the past 10 years. And I don't use every single one of these habits every day, but I use them whenever I'm reminded of a certain habit and they resonate with me, they speak to me at that specific time in my life. And my hope is that you listening to this will take away at least one of these habits and apply to your life today. And I promise you that if you do, it could really transform your life, because when we start one incredible habit, it compound effects into all other areas of our life.
Hi, my name is Pernilla, and this is my Challenge Your Norm podcast. I'm absolutely obsessed with anything related to personal development. And well, to grow, we got to challenge our norm. And so on this podcast, we chat about life and how we can challenge our normal way of living it to make it greater than we could have ever imagined. Just one little belief, habit, bold move, and challenge at a time.
And habit number one that I want to share with you today is a visualization practice. And the one I specifically would like to share with you today is one that I've been doing for many, many years. It started off with me doing the exercise through journaling of time traveling into the future and pretending like I am walking through the perfect day in my life from when I wake up in the morning till when I go to bed. And I would dream about exactly what that would feel like and look like and smell like and what I would hear. And basically what you do is I've actually created visualization meditations on this that are inside of my community. And basically what you do is you close your eyes and you visualize waking up in the bed that you are waking up in maybe 5 or 10 or 20 years from now, maybe just 1 year from now. And you pay attention to who's next to you, what you see, what you smell, what you hear. You step into this future version of you waking up and walking into the kitchen where you potentially get a cup of coffee and you sit by the window. What is outside of the window? Do you see mountains? Do you see an ocean? Is your dog next to you? And then maybe potentially you journal and then your work day starts. How does that look? Do you work from home? Do you travel to your work place? And what are you doing throughout your entire day? Who are you spending your time with? Really just letting your mind wander and play and dream big. Like there are no limitations. I am such a believer that when we can see something in our mind, we can create it. But I don't just use my visualization meditation when it comes to my dream day in the life. I'll do it like when I'm at the gym and I have had crazy fitness goals that I've wanted to achieve. I have visualized myself as this new next level version of myself, really seen it. If I've had certain career goals, I will visualize that happening. Let's say I'm visualizing wanting to get on some person's podcast. I will visualize me sitting in front of that person speaking, and I will visualize and experience my calmness, my peace that I will experience in that moment. The more that I visualize this dream of mine, whatever it is, the more I visualize it, the more it will trick my brain into believing that this is my current reality. And as we know, if we're into manifestation, if we can believe it here and now in our current state, we will be very much more likely to attract it into our life. And I have many, many times attracted. Today I lived a life that I used to dream about. Certain things are different than I had planned. Certain things have come that I've dreamt of, and then I have let go of them because I have realized that, oh wow, this thing that I thought I wanted is actually not what I want now at this stage of my life. So things have come and go, but so many things in my life I used to only dream about, and now they are my reality. So visualization is número uno. And número dos is do something every single day that is uncomfortable that you want to avoid. And I've spoken about this so much, and you're probably tired of hearing me say it at this point. But if you do something every day, whether it's cold plunging, whether it's going on a run, sprinting, working out, cleaning your car, whatever it is that feels uncomfortable for you, if you do that every single day, I can promise you that not only are you going to help develop this part of our brain that's called the mid-anterior anterior cingulate cortex, which will help you become more resilient and take on more bigger challenges throughout your life the more you develop this part of your brain. But also, it will just leave you feeling so confident, so freaking badass, so proud of yourself, and it will just allow you to walk into the rest of the world, the rest of your day, with so much more boldness in going after what you want and more strength and power, and everything else is going to feel so easy because you already did something on that day that felt so freaking uncomfortable. Like right now, as I've mentioned on this podcast, unless it's a leg day, I do these challenging sprints and I hate them. I hate them. They get me so uncomfortable. It feels like my heart is exploding out of my chest. Like it's like when I'm done, it's like my heart actually hurts because it's been pushed to that extreme level. But afterwards, I just feel so powerful. So I would almost say that this might be the thing majority of us need to hear, because it can be easier to sit down and do a visualization. I mean, for some people, we're all so different, but doing something that's so outside of your comfort, like where you actually physically get discomfortable, that can be very challenging. So that's point number 2. And habit number 3 is something that I have done every single day of 2025. And I am planning on continuing that habit, which is read every single day. And I read nonfiction, I read self-development, and I do it, sometimes I'll do it in the morning, but I definitely do it at night before I fall asleep. And it just makes me reconsider the way in which I am going about my life. It keeps inspiring me to act differently, feel differently, and it gives me such incredible wisdom into how I can level up my life. And I am a growth junkie. I love self-development. I love continuously leveling up my life. And I believe that when we take in these other people who have had success within an area of their life, if we take in their beliefs and mindsets, we can potentially change things in our life in a way that could benefit us as well if we take on their learnings. Not to say that you should believe everything that you're reading. I would say read it, take it in, and then see if it relates to you. See if it feels aligned with where you are at this level, at this stage of your life. Number 4 is controversial, but I believe it is powerful. I believe that what we say, what we tell ourselves, is what we create. So when I say affirmations, you're going to have an idea of what I mean when I say that you should say affirmations. But it can look very different. It could be that you're working on your self-love towards yourself and that you compliment yourself every day when you look at yourself in the mirror. Affirmations could also be, I see love everywhere I go. I see love everywhere I go. And the reason I'm saying this specific affirmation is because that's something that I started using after listening to this one podcast where they mentioned that as an affirmation. And I took it. I forget where I listened to it, but it just stuck with me. And I've done this with many different things in my life. Like I'll want to create something in my life, and then I will repeat that sentence to me constantly. Like it could be, I succeed at everything that I take on. I succeed at everything that I take on. Or I'm financially abundant. Money is flowing to me freely and I am so financially abundant. I think, it can sound super woo-woo, but I dare you to give it a try. If you for a full week keep repeating one sentence to yourself at least 10 times a day, I dare you to try that and it not bring something to you that represents that affirmation. I think if you say to yourself, which is something I did when I wanted to get in badass shape, I'm a badass athlete, I believe that you will eventually show up more in alignment with being a badass athlete. If you say, I see love everywhere, people are going to come up to you and just be loving towards you, and you're going to start having incredible conversations with the people you care about in your life. And if you say to yourself, money flows to me, I am so abundant, I see money everywhere I go, I could not imagine that you don't go throughout your week, if you keep repeating that to yourself at least 10 times a day, that you're not going to find some bill or some check is going to come in, something is going to pop up that, yes, it's just magical. It can be magical, and I dare you to try it if you think it's too woo-woo. If nothing happens and you really do that 10 times a day for a week, then I will buy you a Starbucks coffee. Hit me up and I promise you I will buy you a Starbucks coffee and a lunch. Yes, because I just think that is powerful. It's magical. The 5th habit that I think could change your life. It's not going to resonate with those people who've gotten their food game under control and always perfectly aligned with what their body deep down desires. But for all of us other people who have dealt a lot with late night snacking, who have sweet tooth, who have, just that craving coming in right before bedtime or throughout the entire night after dinner and until we go to bed. The fifth transformational habit is quit late night snacking. I mentioned in my last podcast episode that I have given up snacking after I have eaten my dinner, and it's just so wild. And I've also mentioned that it's not that I'm eating less calories, I just eat more calories earlier in the day, which actually makes me feel more energized for my workout. And what it also does is just, I spend that time in the evening towards things that are way more in line with what I deep down want. I mentioned in the last episode with Brooke how I've decided and committed to writing a book. And when I'm sitting and snacking and eating all night, like I'd rather sit and watch a YouTube video than I would sit and write if I was sitting and snacking. I would rather, whatever I would do, over going to bed a little bit earlier and reading a couple extra pages of my self-development book. I wouldn't go take a bath and spend time on that type of self-care if I was so focused on my late night snacking. But the fact that I make sure to eat in all the foods I need and feel fully full and satisfied before the end of my last meal of the day makes me be able to spend those final hours of my day on things that are actually meaningful to me, that feel good. And I wake up in the morning and feel so much better in my body. I would, if I've late night snacked, I eat healthy things at night. Don't get me wrong. Like I've gotten into the habit of eating healthy things. Like I could eat carrots. I could eat oatmeal. Like it would be healthy things, Greek yogurt that I would eat late at night. But when I stop earlier, I sleep better. My digestion is so much better. So I wake up with better digestion. And that leads me to have a far better day the next day. And so I don't know who needs to hear this life transformational habit, but for me, just making that commitment to myself and to my friend that I'm not going to eat after my last meal. It's just not up for even debate. Like it's just a commitment, a clear commitment that I don't eat after my dinner. Compound effects into just the greatest of other things in my life. Going back to the doing something hard makes me feel proud of myself that I didn't do the thing that I really wanted to do. Like every single night I'm annoyed with myself that I made this commitment. I don't like it in the moment, but then long term, it's that delayed gratification type of thing. I feel really, 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 really good. So if you know that late night snacking is not benefiting you, you may want to take a think about that. And if you feel that it's right for you, I would recommend that you share it with someone. Maybe you live with a partner, share it with them, because if you've said it out loud and they know it, then I think there's a bigger chance that you're actually going to stick to it. Or just make the commitment with yourself. You know you best, you know what's going to work. So yes. Moving on. Habit number 6 that has been life transformational to me is listening to audiobooks and podcasts always and constantly. I listen to a motivational podcast when I wake up in the morning. I listen to podcasts throughout my day whenever I'm getting ready for the gym. I'm driving in the car from my way back from the gym. I'm doing certain tasks on my computer that don't require my thinking, just little uploading footage and things like that. Audiobooks, podcasts, I will constantly listen to things that fuel my mind. And you may not be as much of a self-development nerd as me, so you don't need to do it constantly, but I do believe that if you daily, let's say you drive to work every day, if you daily make it a commitment to listen to something motivational, something inspiring, something that can challenge your brain to think, act, be better, I think it will compound effect into your life, because oftentimes it's just hearing that one sentence that sticks with you, that makes you then make changes in your life, and that compound effects. Now, number 7 is something I still struggle with, but I've gotten so much better. It's when we get the urge to do something, to do it right away. It is so easy to procrastinate, but it's actually also so easy to just get it done right away. I heard of this rule at one point. Many of you listening probably know what the rule is called, but I am blinking on it at this moment. But it's something about if it takes you less than 2 minutes or less than 5 minutes, do it right away. You get an email and you see it and you're like, oh, let me wait to respond to that. Or a text, let me wait to respond to that. Throwing your clothes on the floor, oh, I'll wait with cleaning it up. Or unloading the dishwasher, I'll wait with that. Filming a video for social that you know is only going to take 2 minutes, oh, I'll wait with that. Putting together the edit that you also know is going to be pretty quick, just doing it right away. Getting the urge to go to the gym, I'll do it later. No, just do it right away. I know that certain of these things are going to take more than 2 or 5 minutes, but sometimes just having that mindset of, not sometimes, Of course, if you're in the middle of needing to complete another task, then of course it does not apply. But if it's like you're scrolling on your phone or you're doing something that's less important, just get it done. Get into the mindset of just getting it done. Do it right away. Do it right away. Do it right away. I mentioned before that Grace from my challenger community, every single month I run these challenges and we have these incredible conversations. They do my workouts. They get all my recipes. We chat about life and things like this. Everyone is just so wise and have the most incredible ideas. And Grace has come with a couple of like banger sayings. And something that she says to herself is, pass the test. I just think that's so powerful because it's like, you're scrolling on your phone, you have to go to the gym today, but you're like, let me just wait a little bit longer. Pass the test. Like, can you pass the test? Can you get it done right now? I just think it's such like an awesome saying, pass the test. It's like, you don't feel like doing something, pass the test. And I think it could be potentially good to use when it comes to procrastinating certain things in your life. So point number 7 was do it right away. Now, point number 8 is Tim Ferriss. I read one of his books once and he mentioned the question, how can I make this easy? I've had a tendency in my life to sometimes feel like things are hard, and just asking myself the question, how would this look if it were easy, just makes me come up with alternative ideas and ways that I can go about this problem, this challenge, completing this project in a way easier way. So next time you're dealing with an issue, ask yourself, what would this look like if it were easy? One of the questions that I gave my challengers in one of our group conversations not too long ago, we were speaking about nutrition and how that can really be a struggle to make the right nutritional choice. And I asked them, what would that look like if it were easy? And the solutions that they came up with were just easy. And what that led to was them sticking to whatever commitment, whatever thing that was really in true alignment with what they deep down want. So ask yourself, with whatever it is that you're struggling with, what would this actually look like if it were easy? Because we just as humans can make things so freaking hard. And oftentimes there's no need to. Like, for instance, if you're someone who has been late night snacking, but you do tend to eat healthy all day long, what would it look like if it were easy for you to hit your weight loss goal? Well, it would be, like I had mentioned previously, not eating after your dinner. That would literally make it easy because I already eat healthy throughout the day. I get in my protein, I get in my calories, and then it's literally those hours from, let's say, 7 to 9 before you go to bed that you mess it all up. Okay, well, if it were easy, I would just not eat at that time. Okay, then just make that commitment. And yes, it's going to suck that you can't eat, but you've made the commitment and you're sticking to it. So literally now your weight loss journey is going to be easy. Little things like that. It could also be a project. I've oftentimes thought that I needed to make these wild video projects. And when I have asked myself, well, how could I make this look easy? I realized that there's a way easier solution, a way easier way to go about this, completing this project than what I originally had planned on doing. Number 10 is don't bring your phone into the bedroom. Do a little like daily digital detox where you do not allow yourself to look on your phone or on your computer. Like, I think it's so important to connect to yourself daily. And when you are just like inside of that digital world, you're focusing on not yourself. And I think if you just give yourself a time or space every day where you let it go, like every night at 8 p.m., I put away my phone. I set my alarm so that I know at 8, I need to let it out. And that's just like when my night routine begins. And that way I sleep earlier, I sleep better, I wake up feeling refreshed. I get that time to connect with myself. And that way I can also do my morning routine and like everything just kind of flows. I actually mentioned a study inside of our challenge community yesterday. I'm going to read it out because it's wild how big of an effect sleep has on our body. This should probably be another point, which is like, get your freaking sleep, but we'll include it in this specific point. A study showed that self-control is decreased by 60% when someone is sleep deprived. That is wild. It makes total sense that if you are sleep deprived, you're not going to stick to your goals, or at least it will be so much harder. It also showed that people that are sleep deprived eat 20 to 30% more when they haven't gotten their sleep. Think about that for a second. Don't you also feel that when you haven't gotten your sleep, you feel so much more cravings and hungry and all of that stuff? 20 to 30% more. That's wild. And then the last study that I shared with the group is that it's shown that when you are fully rested, your emotional regulation is increased by 44%. I mean, I feel like that just shows that you gotta get your sleep. And I think that a great way to start with that is putting an alarm on your phone as to when you're going to charge your phone. I could charge my phone in the kitchen. When you're going to put your phone away in some other room to charge overnight, and you do your night routine. You calm your nervous system and get ready to sleep, because it's just going to make your life so much better. Number 11 is get curious about people. You know how sometimes we can speak with someone and maybe zone out or focusing on our own problems, and life gets so much better when we're curious about people. Even if we disagree with what they're saying or it's not a passion that we have that they're speaking about, what if you just led each conversation with deep curiosity? Try it. I'm still working on this, but it's wild how beautiful the conversations get. Another thing that I also have really incorporated when it comes to this curiosity is just I love deep conversations and I don't love small talk. So what I'll do, even though it's more rare, it's more abnormal, I will ask deep questions. And I have also been really practicing being honest. I was at the gym the other day, a guy came up to talk to me, and it was super cool dude, so fine human, but he wanted to find a girl. And he was talking about how all girls are so focused on money and cars and stuff like that. And I was like, there's 20 million women in Los Angeles. I am so certain that there are women who are not interested in that, who have other, focuses. I mean, my girlfriends aren't like that. So I think that what we put out is going to come back to us. So if you, really set the intention to look for women who, whatever things it is that you're looking for, I think it will open your mind up to see different kind of women than maybe potentially what you've been attracting so far. And then another thing that happened in our conversation is that I think I was speaking about, I don't know what we were speaking about, but the TV was on and there was politics going on, and he started speaking negatively about politics. I'm the type of person, I will know what's going on, but I am not in a position where I'm allowed to vote in America. I know what's going on, but I also don't invest my energy into feeling negative. I do my best to do what I can. So if I cannot vote, what can I do? I can focus on how can I spread more joy and good energy and give people the tools to navigate uncertainty, navigate learning to trust themselves, so that when they are in a situation that feels uncomfortable or in a situation where they feel lost and sad, that they will better know how to handle that. I didn't go that deep with him, but I just said that when he kind of wanted me to go into this negative talk with him, I said something about, yeah, I know it's crazy frustrating, but I just try to focus on what I can control. And I try to spread messages and help where I can do that. Not with these exact words, but you get the point. I try to focus on what can I control? How can I spread joy? How can I help? And what that then leads to, I feel, when I've started allowing myself to be more authentic in that way, is that it just leads to deeper conversations. And when I dare to be vulnerable, when I dare to be authentic, when I dare to be myself and dive either by asking more deep questions or me sharing my actual truth, it just allows for more raw, real conversations. So something that could be transformational, at least in your relationships, which our relationships are obviously a massive part of our life, is to lead with more curiosity and lead with more authenticity and bring to the conversation what you desire for the conversation, because it may open something up in their life as well that they potentially needed. I am about to go to a fitness expo with my Solin partners, and then I have a birthday party afterwards. So I have to leave here very shortly. So we'll finish off these last final tips pretty quickly. And I've noticed that I have one more thing that I want to share with you, because if I didn't, actually maybe two. We'll see how far we get. So there may actually be 16 or 17, because we did add the sleep as well. So this is 17 habits. I knew there was going to come more up as I started speaking. The 12th practice is a gratitude practice. And either you can do this by every day writing down just 3 things that you're grateful for, either in the morning or at night. And you can focus on different things like body parts or a cup of coffee or the sunlight or your work or people that you're grateful for. Or the fact that me, for example, right now that I have this camera and this microphone, which allows me to make these podcast episodes, which By the way, I started with literally a shitty microphone and my computer, and that's how I started my podcast. So do not make any excuses. If you want to be a YouTuber, you can film with your phone. Like, there's no limits to what you can do, but just like gratitude for what you have. But something else that you can do is when you wake up in the morning, just if you have gratitude, be the focus of that day. Be like, literally everything you see, be like, oh, you're entering your car. Oh, I'm so grateful for my car. I'm so grateful for the fact that I have money to put gas in my car. I'm so grateful that I have a place that I can go to work. I'm so grateful that I got to have a hug from my partner this morning or my dog. I'm so grateful that my mom is still here. So let me message her that I'm grateful for her. I'm so grateful that the sun is out a little bit today, or I'm so grateful, even though that it's like freezing degrees where I'm at right now, that it freshens up my face. I promise you, it's going to completely transform your day. You cannot walk around focusing on gratitude in that way and not feel happy. So transformational habit 12 is what that is. 13 is daily movement for the mind and body. And I would just recommend that you have a clear workout plan for the week. And no matter what your brain tells you, stick to it. I, however, am in a place now where I wouldn't need a daily clear plan because I have made it a habit. I want to, even when I don't feel like it, move every single day in some way. But whatever it looks like for you, maybe it's daily walks, maybe it's going on a hike once a week, and then 2 days is Pilates. I always struggle saying that. Maybe it's yoga sometimes, maybe it's hardcore CrossFit that you're into, maybe it's a dance class, like whatever it is, doesn't matter. But make sure that you get some sort of movement in every day. Yes, you can have obviously rest days, but if you've been feeling low, you know that moving your body is going to make you feel better every single time. You have all heard it and you know it, that there's so many times where you did not feel like showing up beforehand, but never have you ever regretted actually showing up for that type of movement. Now, the next one that I wanted to add on here is create a vision board. Just create a vision board. I've talked about it a lot lately, but I've also seen the people in my community who have created these vision boards, how things we're still in January and things are already coming true for them, and just the most wild stories. If you are new to my podcast, you can scroll down and listen to so many of my podcasts where I share all of these things in so much more detail. And there's one of them that has to do with manifestation as well. Even if it's just printing out 3 photos of what it is that you want, you got to do it. Ooh. And then that leads me to another transformational habit, which is write down your goals. Like, be super clear. You have to. If you don't know what your goal is, you will have no direction as to where you're headed. And growth equals happiness. I say it all the time. It's Tony Robbins, and I just believe in it. You will be happier, more fulfilled when you're moving in a direction, when you're growing. And if you don't have a clear goal, you may just be spinning in circles. But if you have a clear goal, you can then actually align your actions with that goal. So if you're not clear on your goals, you got to write down your goals, which leads me to the final transformational habit that I'm going to share with you today, which is journaling. Oh no, it's not going to be my last one because I have one final one as well. I've journaled for years. Every single month in my challenges, I come up with a new journal. It helps you connect with yourself. It helps you show up differently. It helps you get to know yourself. It helps you stay consistent. It helps you question the way in which you live your life. One of the best things I have done for myself is question the way in which I live my life. I have completely transformed my life through questioning every single time myself when I am doing things that do no longer serve me. I could go on a rant into that, but we'll leave it there before I share my final one, which is meditate. I meditate every single morning after my journaling, even if it's just 5 minutes of focusing on your breath, of visualizing, which was the first habit, transformational habit that I shared on this podcast episode. Whatever it looks like for you, just 5 minutes of meditation. Some people will walk and meditate. That's not what I do, but find your way, find your version. Oh my God. And I have to say a final one. Get out to nature, into nature. And I'm saying this to myself as well. I'm moving in less than a week now. And I'm so excited because I'm moving to a place where I can actually spend more time in nature and travel on my rollerblades. I grew up in Denmark where I've always biked. And then when I went to high school, I rollerbladed. It was my form of transportation. And I'm talking like miles every day. And every time I go to Denmark, I travel around on my rollerblades. And when I go to the gym, I choose a gym that's a little further away so that I can get a good rollerblading ride. And when I rollerblade to the gym in Denmark, I both go through the beach and I also go through little forest, but there's a bunch of trees. It makes me feel amazing. And where I'm moving to, it's going to be by the beach. There are also some hikes that I can go to, but it's just going to give me that outdoorsy nature, more so at least, lifestyle where I don't have to be in my car to travel every time I want to go anywhere. So nature can heal your soul. Studies have proven that it can heal depression as well. It's powerful things. Let me sum up for you what habits I shared with you today that for me has been absolutely life transformational. 1, a visualization practice. 2, do something that you hate or want to avoid. 3, read daily. 4, say affirmations to yourself. 5, stop late night snacking. 6, listen to self-development audiobooks and podcasts whenever you can. 7, do it right away. 8, ask yourself, how can I make this easy? 9, meditation. 10, no phone in the bedroom plus digital detox periods. 11, be curious about people and bring more into conversations of what you would like to be in your conversations. 12, gratitude. 13, daily movement for mind and body. 14, vision board. 15, journaling. And I think there were a couple of more, but these are the ones I can remember for right now. I hope that you take on just one of these habits, one that spoke to you the most, and you just give it a try for 7 days inside of my challenge community, which by the way, I will link below if you want to join us. I promise you, if you actually join this group and you do the things that we do inside of this community, it will transform your life. It will change you to your core, and you will be a different human on the other side. I can promise you that. So I'll link it below if you want to join. And we start our February transformation challenge literally on the day that this podcast episode comes out. But you can join the community anytime. I run new challenges every single month, and people have been in this group I started my first challenge on March 1st, and some have been there literally for the entire year. So this is a community where we keep building, we keep leveling up, and we keep on moving towards our biggest goals and desires, because once we hit one goal, we set a new, and we keep on growing and evolving. However, what I wanted to share was that if you found one of these habits spoke to you, commit to it for 7 days. And this is what we do inside of our community. If someone is like, oh, I need to do this for 7 days and I need accountability partners, they'll say it out loud during one of our calls or read it in our group just to keep accountable. We've all heard it. So now it's like the pressure's on. I got to do it. And I got to do it because I want to evolve. I want to grow. I want to get better. So I don't know if you want to join the group and have accountabilities in that way. You have a partner that you can share it with, a parent, a friend, whatever. But commit to doing it for 7 days or 30 days, whatever resonates with you. But just commit to one habit. Don't take on too much, just one. And it will compound effect like crazy. And you can come back to listen to this episode anytime you would like, because, different seasons of our life require different things, different habits. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed it and you think someone else would find it useful, I would appreciate a share. I would love for you to follow me so that we can have more conversations like this. And as always, remember that in order for you to grow, you have to challenge your norm. Bye.